signature.
Yeah.
Karibu sana.
Asante.
City has the day's proverb. This week's proverbs are from the United Republic of Tanzania.
Yes, it is. Yeah, rather they are. If you find a new pot, P-O-T, never throw away the old one. The old one being the old pot.
Okay. If you find a new pot, never throw away the old one.
Yes.
Okay.
If you were to put this in a wide African context, if you find a new wife, don't throw away the old one.
Mheshimiwa, what's the interpretation of this proverb?
I think it depends on where you stand. Of course, it's always good to know where you've come from. Where you've come from, what has gotten you to where you are. Those notes are worth keeping because you can get back one day. It doesn't matter that the position now you're holding is permanent. You can find yourself where you started, and you
always have a fallback position.
You need to not to scramble to find out how you got to that gear in the first place. So
there's always a fallback position that you have.
Absolutely.
Okay. It's interesting that you say it this way because what we want to discuss is something that has been in the news lately, particularly touching on you. Kimirili MP Didmas Baraza is asking the UDA National Executive Council to dismiss Acting Secretary General Cleophas Malala, claiming he's an ODM mole. According to Didmas Baraza, Malala has continued to disrespect National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula and Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi by holding a series of meetings in Western Kenya aimed at inciting the people against the two. He says by weakening the leaders from Western Kenya, Malala is basically laying the ground for ODM to thrive in 2027. Hey, boss.
Yes.
You're speaking about which party sponsored you to Parliament this time?
UDA.
You're speaking about your Secretary General.
Absolutely.
And you're saying your Secretary General is a mole of...
Absolutely, and they should be dismissed.
Where is this coming from?
You know, we brought Malala because we wanted him to checkmate Edwin Sifuna, you know, the Secretary General of ODM.
You brought Malala?
Absolutely.
What does that mean?
Of course, this means that we got Malala from ANC, and there was some discussion about which person is suitable to hold this position in acting capacity. So when the man comes, he's put in that position as acting Secretary General. We've had this marauding ODM SG, Edwin Sifuna, making statements that are wreaking havoc within our quarters. Those statements go unchallenged. So you have, he has been made statements about, of course, his normal statements about Kenya Kwanza government, how we are failing, how we haven't delivered on our mandate that we promised Kenyans. We expect that our acting Secretary General, Cleophas Malala, should be able to engage this is Edwin Sifuna. But now Malala forgets about his role. He begins to checkmate Musalia Mudavadi. He begins to checkmate Moses Wetangula. Because if you go to Bungoma and you are telling the people that Wetangula should show us what he has brought here, we are struggling with whether the government has made the 30% that we promised the people of Western Province or not. Then you have an individual who is supposed to behave in a way that you are supposed to coil a very good statement in terms of explaining if we've made the 30% or not. Then you find this character convening meetings and saying, Musalia Mudavadi, please come and tell us how many projects have you brought from national government? How many young people have you taken to the military? He goes ahead to say that the so-called Western Caucus, we have had our own association that we do round, we support each other, that we are doing fundraising, yet we are in government. We are fundraising to build schools, yet we are in government. He's basically saying, is he aware? Maybe he's behaving as if he is aware that maybe the government has not delivered much on people of Western Kenya. So this is an opposition language. That's why we are saying that Cleophas Malala is an ODM mole. It should be shown the door. It should be shown the door as early as yesterday.
Mheshimiwa, is it beyond a stretch of imagination that perhaps the Secretary General of UDA is doing exactly what he was brought in to do?
No, at all. Everybody understands that the President of the Republic of Kenya trusts Wycliffe Musalia Mudavadi. This is evident after Musalia was elevated from his current position of Prime CS without portfolio to a Prime CS holding a very powerful and lucrative position of foreign affairs and diaspora management. Then you are putting him on defense, while understanding and knowing that developments in the country called Kenya are initiated and approved by one government that is in the hands of William Samoei Ruto. So in one hand, you are deflating William Samoei Ruto, and in the other hand, it could be through ignorance, but I have every reason to believe that Cleophas Wahungu Malala is acting on behalf of ODM, because this is a fella that has opened a rent collection kiosk around the Hustler Center, and his rent collection kiosk may be extending to mean that he has some clients from ODM.
What does that mean? Explain to us this rent collecting scheme that you talk about. What does that mean?
These are small things which when, for example, we had an issue with nominated MCAs in Eldoret, the matter that was in court, when they go to him for him now to stamp his authority as an SG and provide direction which the court can be properly guided, the gentleman asks for these young Kenyans, these young women and men, including some that are living with a disability. He asking for them to collect some money. We had situations where the MCS of Kiambu County had said they are not going to approve their budget. That is within their constitutional mandate, in line of what they knew they were approving. Then we are told that the SG of UDA goes to collect some rent from the governor of Kiambu and begins to threaten the MCS that we will de-whip you. You saw the senator for Kiambu calling him to order. So this is what I'm basically saying, rent collection kiosk.
But have these allegations been proven in any way? Have you, as a member of parliament, who's a senior member of parliament at that, having served more than one term, have you actually had any evidence to all this that you're calling the rent collection kiosks? In the case of that you've cited, the case of Eldoret MCAs, the case of Kiambu MCAs and their governor and their senator, anything that is proven?
I am happy you've called me a senior member of parliament. This is my second term. My position will make you at least trust me that what I say is in itself enough evidence. Yeah? We grew up this party from scratch when it was first registered, UDA. Within 1 year, we had registered close to 8 million members. At that time, the party did not even have money. We did not draw any single cent from the UDA party. When Cleophas Malala was made acting Secretary General, he has drawn more than 100 million, close to an excess of 200 million. He has only increased the membership from by 3,240. The so-called launching of grassroots registrations has all ended up in chaos. His problem is that he goes to a particular...
Before you go any further,
yes.
My question is evidence.
Absolutely.
On these rent-seeking kiosks.
It's very clear. It's on record. It's on record. It's very clear.
Whose
Everybody
record?
Understands this.
Whose record?
From our party's records.
Has there been an official complaint filed at the party headquarters by any MCA
Absolutely.
from Eldoret saying that I came seeking services of the party and I was required to pay a bribe?
I have told you, I am privy to the evidence. These people have complained. They have complained to everybody. And I think ask Gladys Borsholey. She's completely aware of these kind of things. The beef with, of Gladys Borsholey with the Cleophas Malala is not based on nothing else. It's based on some of the things that I've talked about here.
You know, the things that you've raised about Cleophas Malala so far matters not, well, apart from the rent-seeking on the others are matters not necessarily about him fighting officials of UDA, but him as Secretary General of UDA, raising questions about leaders who are in the Kenya Kwanza administration, but who are not members of UDA.
My friend.
Musalia Mudavadi is not a member of UDA.
Absolutely.
He's a leader of a different party called Amani. The Speaker of the National Assembly, Moses Wetangula, is not a member of UDA. He's a leader of a party called Ford Kenya. What's wrong with the Secretary General of UDA asking the other leaders, I mean, what is it that you're doing?
There is one important thing here that you must understand, that the party leader of UDA is the President of the Republic of Kenya. He is the person who has assigned Wycliffe Musalia Mudavadi the responsibility of Prime Cabinet Secretary. Any Secretary General of whichever party within Kenya Kwanza has got no gravitas to ask Musalia to explain what he has brought to the people of Mulembe Nation.
Why?
While understanding that the role of Musalia Mudavadi is the PS for Foreign Affairs. He is supervising the rest of the Cabinet Secretaries in delivery of the government services. So that question is supposed to be directed to the President of the Republic of Kenya.
But somebody who would understand that very well would be Cleophas Malala. He's been a member of this party. He has actually served as a senator under this party. You haven't.
Which party? Malala was an MCA of ODM. He was senator a senator on ANC.
Exactly.
He just came to. He may not understand the philosophy of UDA.
He understands ANC
Absolutely.
very well. He understands Musalia Mudavadi very well.
Yeah.
You haven't. So if Malala is asking questions,
No.
Musalia,
It is not.
Malala understands
It is not
Musalia
proper.
very well.
It is not proper. You had when the party leader of UDA, who is the President of the Republic of Kenya, in our National Government Council at Bomas of Kenya, he reprimanded Malala on his face. This is what he said. He said, we will want to form. We will want to ask the affiliate parties to dissolve and join UDA, but it is not mandatory. It is not the way some of you have been saying, wapende wasipende. We will ask them, it's good for them to dissolve their parties and join UDA so that we form one party, but those who will not be willing to dissolve their parties, we will work on a formula on how we are going to work together to take this country forward. That is what the president said when he was at Bomas. Now, if you the genesis of collapse of Asimio, it was on the basis of chest thumping, that those bravados, not respecting the so-called smaller parties, that made them move away from Asimio and join ranks with us. We don't want to walk that route. That's why I'm saying that Cleophas Malala seemed to be scoring our own goal. I think I can equate him to, we have got this player of Manchester United, whom at one time was the leading goal scorer, but scoring their own goal. I think Cleophas Malala and Maguire, I don't think there is much difference. There's no much difference.
Cleophas Harry Maguire.
You know what I hear you to be saying is that if one is the Secretary General of a party, and the example here being UDA, he has no authority whatsoever to even dare criticize other members of that coalition. Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is this, and this is very important. I need to understand this thing, that if you read the constitution of UDA, the SG has got two roles. One role is to organize the leadership of the assemblies. He can decide who becomes the chief whip, who becomes the majority leader. If we have a majority, if we don't have a majority, then the other way around will be deciding who is the minority and who is the deputy minority and the whips, the leadership of the assemblies. He also has another role of driving recruitment drives in terms of increasing the numbers of our party. And he has got also another added responsibility of acting like, the reverend, the fishers of men, fishers of people to bring to the party, right? So when you have a role of fishers of men, you go to preach to the people who don't confess your faith. Those are the people that you preach to bring them here. Musalia Mudavadi is already a bishop in Kenya Kwanza government. Wetangula is a reverend for that matter. The people that is supposed to be preaching to, reading the sermon to, people like Edwin Sifuna, people who are in ODM, people who are in other parties. But if you go tingisharing the pillars within the bigger house, then that's not a good thing to do. Anybody who has gone to school, doesn't matter the level. Anybody who has just gone to school, whether it's in class 8 or Form 1 or Form 2, will tell you that at this time when we are struggling to explain to the country as to whether we have delivered on our promise or not, at this time when Kenyans are fully aware that we went across the 47 counties, we signed various economic charters, various blueprints, various manifestos with different groups across this country, and we were hard hit by hard economic times, by factors not beyond our reach. We have escalating cost of things in this country. Some are cost beyond as a result of things that are not beyond our reach. Others are things beyond our reach. That's why we are working around clock to stabilize the cost of very basic products in this country. Will not go the Malala route of some leaders of Kenya Kwanza on defense to explain. You are simply cutting.
Imagine that the leader
said Didmas Barasa should be removed from this position, and he's accusing him of being a mole
Cleophas
for
Malala.
Cleophas Malala. Didmas Barasa. Cleophas Malala is the Secretary General, saying Malala should be removed from the position and accusing him of being a mole for ODM. Let's continue this conversation shortly. We want to understand more of where these issues are coming from and the genesis of this. And City had asked earlier, is this a national issue or is this a Western Kenya issue as well?
This is a national issue.
We will continue that conversation
Absolutely.
shortly.
Yeah.
7:30. Good morning.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
Good morning, and I love your show.
Thank you.
Having come from a Kikuyu radio background, I migrated to Spice because of the content.
I was born in a slum, but somehow I got a break in life. So sometimes when you see the sweating coming out because of the passion and whatever it is, behind the noise, there are people, and we share the same umbilical cord.
It shouldn't be like that. I am so disappointed. We used to tell Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga that he's doing politics of conmanship, and even President Uhuru Kenyatta, serikali hii ndio iko na conmanship ya hali ya juu. You cannot promise people that you reduce tax, then you double.
In politics, there is the issue of trust. For you to turn around and then stab the same people who gave you that trust, there is no other level of dishonesty. Na hii mambo utaona dunia tu.
The Situation Room, Kenya's biggest conversation.
16 degrees and sunny conditions in Nairobi this morning, highs of 26, and we'll see highs of 26 as well in Nakuru, where it is sunny at 14. Sunny at 16 in Nyeri with highs of 24, and 25 will be the high in a mostly sunny Eldoret at 15. It's sunny at 24 in Mombasa, and 26 and sunny in Malindi. 21 cloudy conditions in Kisumu with highs of 29, and 27 will be the high in a mostly cloudy Kakamega at 20. It's 19 and cloudy in Kampala with highs of 25, and in Dar es Salaam 29 will be the high, where it's sunny at 25, 17 and cloudy in Johannesburg with highs of 24, and rain showers continue in Lagos into highs of 31 and lows of 25, and cloudy conditions at 23 in Kinshasa with highs of 33.
Spice up your life.
All right, we'll see some delays if you're on the Thika Superhighway this morning because traffic has done a double in a very short period of time, and we're looking at bumper to bumper, way past where the service lanes will offer you some reprieve.
Houses program, establishment of the Kimilili ICT Center and Library, the only library in Bungoma County, and road rehabilitations are some of the flagship projects that put our Mheshimiwa on top.
Governor 2027 Bungoma. Me, Edward Ditmas
Once again, the Honorable Member of Kimilili Constituency, Honorable Didmas Barasa, has just led in the just concluded research done by Polytalk Africa, ranking him number 1 in Western and 4 nationally, with approval rating of 78.3%. Infrastructural development of schools in the constituency, like construction of modern one-story facility at Matili FYM Primary School, Mahonge FYM Primary School, Sehendo Primary School, elimination of grass-thatched houses program, establishment of the Kimilili ICT Center and Library, the only library in Bungoma County, and road rehabilitations are some of the flagship projects that put our Mheshimiwa on top.
It's with the Honorable Didmas Barasa, the MP for Kimilili constituency, about affairs in UDA. The National Governing Council of this party met at Bomas just the other day, the final week of September. And this brought in delegates from across the country. The party has been opening new branches across the country. And even the president has been spearheading in the opening of these new branches. You have said the party has increased its membership, those who have registered as members, by what? Over 3,000 people now?
Yes.
That tells you that those who are in leadership of the party are actually doing something. That includes the Secretary General, who is supposed to be the chief apostle.
This is what I said. I said, we formed this party and grew the membership from 0 to 8 million within a year without drawing any single cent from the UDA account because there was no money. We used volunteers, members of parliaments and senators and governors by that time in Tanga, the rebel wing of Jubilee by that time. We used our offices to engage young men and women across the country to engage in rigorous recruitment drive. That's why we grew the membership from 0 to 8 million with 0 cent from the party coffers. The man has withdrawn more than 200 million and he has only increased the membership by 3,200 from the time he was put in that position as Secretary General. Now, when you want to rate the performance of Secretary General, ideally on the face of it, you should be able to look at how this person is responding to propaganda or statements, whether fact or fiction, that are against our government. You want to rate him, like for example, now we only have at least 2, let me say 2 visible Secretary Generals of parties in Kenya. We have the SG of ODM, and they are now our SG of UDA. Can you rate him with Edwin Sifuna? Edwin Sifuna has been hovering from one TV station to the other, making statements which are good for his party, but they are against our coalition, because the role of the opposition is to weaken government so that they can have their way when time comes. I have never seen Cleophas Malala issuing a rejoinder against what Edwin Sifuna has said.
Didmas, you really seem to admire Edwin Sifuna.
He's a young man who has done very well. He's very good in doing what he's doing. I mean, absolutely. If there is a person that ODM got that I can tell you for a fact, he's a very good person in terms of understanding the role that comes from the office he holds. It's Edwin Sifuna. He is very good. He's a very young lawyer. He's a young lawyer. He's very eloquent. Absolutely. And we would want. That's why he has made most of us who are in UDA to feel like we don't have an Secretary General, or we have one who doesn't understand what his role is about. You know, we had a lady called Veronica Maina.
Yes.
She was a Secretary General from when the UDA was formed to the time that she was nominated to the Senate as nominated senator. That lady is meticulous. That lady battled with Edwin Sifuna.
Like construction of modern...
For Chris Wamalwa joined Kenya Kwanza when he was still in Fort Kenya, when Fort Kenya was still in dalliance with the ODM and Wiper. That gracious lady battled those people. That time there was serious propaganda about our party leader, about our presidential candidate. They were talking about corruption, very many things about William Ruto. That Veronica Maina, she meticulously diffused those propaganda. And I think I'm just wondering if we had the person in the name of Cleophas Malala as SG at that time when things were very hot. You know, this is a man whom we call in the military that you turn when you are in a military in a fighting field somewhere. You have some friendly forces. For example, if maybe East Africa is battling with Central Africa, so Uganda is a friendly fire, Tanzania is a friendly fire. But when you have a soldier who turns his gun to a Ugandan soldier who's a member of a friendly force, that person should actually be dealt with in Mambo ni Matatu. Otherwise, you destroy the whole troops, and this is basically what Cleophas Malala is doing.
See, we then ask the question: is this a national issue or is it a Western Kenya issue? Because
it's a national issue.
The people whom, if I'm to quote you, Malala seems to have mentioned are leaders from Western Kenya. Has he mentioned any other leader who is not from Western Kenya?
Yes. I've elaborated.
Has a leader in the name of Speaker of the Senate. Has he raised questions about what the Speaker of the Senate is doing? Has he asked about the Maendeleo Chap leader who is a minister in this government?
No.
Has he asked the question about Moses Kuria, who is a leader of a political party?
Let me school you a bit. Let me school you a bit. The only person from all those people that you have mentioned who still remains active in politics as party leader is Moses Wetangula. Musalia Mudavadi relinquished his position as the party leader of ANC to Issa Timami. There is no minister, there is no CS in Kenya who is a member of a political party. All of them resigned in line with the provisions of our constitution when they appeared for vetting. Actually, Parliament had to confirm
that they have resigned.
Okay. You know, so they have no reason to lament because they are not members of political parties. Moses Kuria relinquished his party, right? And I have just said here that if you speak with the senator for Kirinyaga, he has issues with Malala. Senator for Kiambu, Vincent Musyoka, the MP for Mwala, Muhammad Ali, the MP for Nyali, the people of Isiolo. Anywhere that
since you're schooling us, all these people you've mentioned, what are their issues with Malala? Specific issues.
I am not their spokesperson. I came here, I have told you in overview, generally on what the problems are.
Mheshimiwa, you know why I asked the question if it's a Western Kenya problem? Because I do not expect that someone who, like Malala, a young chap, suddenly ascends to this very lofty position of Secretary General. It is not possible for him to have that position if the party leader did not give it a nod. It is not possible.
I think listening to this gentleman, he's speaking like he's a staunch follower of ODM, and because
not
this
really.
is their mall. Because
really.
you know, it's
not really.
Let him finish the question.
Yeah. In this country, are you trying to tell me that people are sent to certain positions of authority within political parties without the leader of that political party giving a nod?
Or can we ask, how did Cleophas Malala become Secretary General of UDA? How did that happen?
You know, if I am to believe what you are saying,
no, I wasn't saying. I'm actually asking a question.
I want to answer you.
Yes.
You have asked me the question in a manner that you wanted to ask me. Allow me answer you in a manner that I want to answer you. If I was to believe in what you are saying, that because Cleophas Malala is the Secretary General acting SG of UDA, and the head of UDA is the president, therefore what he is saying, it may reflect what the wish of the party leader want. Can we therefore also say that when Moses Kuria said that those who are complaining about fuel prices, you can go and sink your own borehole? Can we therefore say that that was a statement by the president? No, it's not the president. It's not the position of the president. The fact that you are a senior member of a party, the fact that you are a senior member of a government, and you goof and you issue statements that are not good, it doesn't mean that those statements have been sanctioned by the leader of that party.
Okay.
People are entitled to their opinions. Your opinion, let me tell you, the fact that you are an SG or you are a government minister, it doesn't mean that your opinions are always right. It doesn't mean that you are super intelligent. It doesn't mean that you understand the way things are run better than the other people. So I'm simply saying that some of the actions by the acting UDA Secretary General are basically a goof. Those are his own personal statements that are wrecking our party from within.
Okay.
We are not madmen.
Allow me to ask you a question.
You've seen yesterday, there was a quote that newspapers quoted the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, Gladys Bolsholei. She maintained the same statement that it appears the actions of Cleophas Malala is wrecking the party from within. Okay. Gladys Bolsholei, she's not a drunk woman. She's a sober person, a person with the qualifications similar to the judge of the Supreme Court. This is a fact, my friend.
My name is Muga.
Yeah, my friend is better than Muga. Yeah.
So, is it from what you've said? It's your opinion would state that he is acting out of rank, right? Or that the messages that he's sending are of his personal views. Would he then, as a Secretary General, would it make sense that he would do or say some of these things, not realizing the repercussions, whether they're an opinion or action, the repercussions of what he is asking of people to do, without realizing what position that then puts at him? Do you think he would do that?
Yeah, he can do that depending on the number of digits of his IQ. If they are 3, if they are 4, if they are 2, it depends. I mean, because one, let me ask you a question, Latif. Unless if your IQ is below 2 digits, can you go to convene a public baraza, a public rally, and then you're asking people, please tell Wetangula to show you how military recruits are reporting to RTS tomorrow. Tell Wetangula to show you how many of these boys he has taken to military, while fully understanding that the policy of the government of Kenya is that the military are independent. They go around the country. They have announced the recruitment dates. They go to recruits from each and every sub-county. Then as an SG, you are simply now telling the country that we have a government that interferes with the independence of some of these institutions. You are simply telling people that there are other recruiting centers where recruits are recruited apart from the one that the military has gazetted.
But here, the deputy party leader has said that shareholders should benefit.
No, don't mix the issues. Don't mix the issues.
It's the same issue, Bwana.
Of course.
This is the thinking of the leadership of this party.
You know, Latif.
So
when the president,
I honestly don't have an issue with the Secretary General of the party saying, "Show what kind of benefits we're getting."
Let me tell you. And
maybe my IQ is the same.
You know,
single digits.
2 things.
Latif. We should not. Yesterday, when the head of state was addressing the great people of Siaya, he was very clear that every Kenyan, regardless of the color of your skin, the size of your beard, whether you have spectacles or not, whether you are a Christian or a Muslim or whichever faith you confess, regardless of the voting patterns of your area, regardless of the political party that you belong in, you have an equal share in the government of the Republic of Kenya. Even when you are a foreigner and you are here, you have your right in terms of whatever seat that you want to get from the government of Kenya. He made it very clear at that time. We should not be derailed by some personal opinions of people who, when they are making those opinions, maybe that message is for the audience of that particular area, not to mean that it is for the whole country, right? So we should be guided by what the law says, because we have a government that governs by the rule of law. We have statutes that governs us. We have got policy papers that governs us. We have got the decisions by Parliament and the decisions by delegated legislation that upon which this government runs on. So I am simply saying that if you look at the way our SG has performed, it's completely below bar, and there is no difference with Maguire of Manchester.
Have you had
United.
a conversation with the Speaker of the National Assembly or the Prime Cabinet Secretary? Have they privately complained about what Malala has been saying?
Not really, because not that I've had a meeting with them and they have complained about what Malala is doing, but I look at their body language and just see they are wondering. Not just them, but everybody, even all ministers. I see them. Their body language that what has this man smoked?
You know, Malala is a politician. So are you. Not very long ago, there was a very concerted attack on one cabinet secretary by the name of Babu Namwamba. It was incessant. There were complaints.
Still ongoing.
Yes, exactly. So, are we saying that when somebody ascends to a position of authority, they cannot be asked questions or perceived wrongs or perceived positions cannot be stated in public? Are we saying, for instance, that if your best friend, Edwin Sifuna, was suddenly to start saying that there are people in his neck of the woods who are doing things which he considers to be improper, that he'd be doing wrong, is it not possible for somebody to belong to a party and still criticize the people within his party? Is it not possible?
You know, it's possible, but you cannot equate the accusation that were leveled against the CS Babu Namwamba with what we are saying about Malala. What Malala, these are just basically goofing, completely goofing, right? You don't make such statements that you know very well that the statements that you are making in turn are coming to hurt your party leader. They are coming to weaken the party more, you know. You can't be. Let me tell you, I was just watching a video of them when they appeared before the dialogue committee to give their views. You know, as SG's Secretary Generals within Kenya Kwanza coalition. Together, he was in company of Ombogo Mlemba, who is the SG of ANC. And he was also in a company of Dr. John Murumba Chikati, the SG of Fort Kenya. They went there and they presented a position. And each one of them supported each other. And one of the opposition was advocating for strengthening of affiliate parties within the coalition. You can go there and watch. Malala was there, he supported. So when now you go somewhere, you get drunk. And
a government has been built.
Now, I don't hold the diary of the president in terms of how many people he has called in private and reprimanded. I don't...
but you seem to know that he's done it.
Of course, I mean, I will give you an example. We were going to Eldoret with him in a chopper. Then we saw a video of Honorable Kimani Kuria, the MP for Molo, drunk and trying to access a baraza organized by the GC against illicit brew. So the man comes, he was drunk, trying to jump through the fence. He called him to Eldoret, and he sat him down and he explained to him, you know, we have a president who is also a father. We who is a father figure,
Yes.
who is a president who has mentored very young people.
Yes.
I would not be where I am here politically were it not for William Samoei Ruto.
So
This is a man
if what Malala is doing goes against what you're saying is a party position, if a member of parliament can be sat down by a father figure and say, don't do this because it bodes badly, why would he not call out? Because if he has, clearly it has not made a difference because he's still going out, like you say, in public goofing. So why wouldn't the party leader say, if truly the position that he's not happy with this, or that the party
he may have called him. Maybe that's a question that you need to ask the president. Maybe he may have called him 300 times. And even in class, we have slow learners. We have some, when you teach them today and you set an exam, they will pass. We have others, when you teach them today, they need about 2 or 3 weeks to internalize whatever they were taught. We have slow learners, So maybe Malala is part of the people who are slow learners. Like I said, all this boils down to the digits of IQ of an individual. Whether you are a fast learner, we have some people like myself and others who learn things through fast principles, that you take me in a class, you teach me, I grasp. I can even go ahead of the teacher. And we are wired differently by the Almighty. We don't have the same thinking capacity. There are some where when you ask them a question, even in the studio, they will answer you. Others will say, I need time to do a research to come back. So I know is that maybe the president will have called him and told him, now here, go slow. But reading the tone of the president during our national governing council meeting at Bomas, he was very categorical and he was very clear. He said, all those people who have been in acting capacity, it doesn't matter whether you know me or whether you are close to Rigiji, my friend, the people will decide.
You're on your own.
You're on your own. It's like he has said that I used some metrics, some kind of parameters that you qualify to be in acting capacity up to today, but from here going forward, it's meritocracy. At that time when you are assembling a team to fulfill the requirements by the Political Parties Act, you may just pick a name that comes in your mind. If it's Latif, you say we put here Latif, but now we have time, we are not under any pressure, we have to fill those positions through meritocracy.
Didmas, thank you for joining us. The Honorable Didmas Barasa is the MP for Kimilili constituency. He is a member of the UDA party. He's been having issues with the leadership of the party, especially in the office of the Secretary General, and that's what we've been having a conversation with him about. Keep it here for more. Coming up in the next hour, a very good morning to you. It's 8 a.m.
Spice up your life.
One in Western and 4 nationally, with approval rating of 78.3%. Infrastructural development of schools in the constituency, like construction of modern one-story facility at Matili FYM Primary School, Mahonge FYM Primary School, Sehendo Primary School, elimination of grass-thatched houses program, establishment of the Kimilili ICT Center and Library, the only library in Bungoma County, and road rehabilitations are some of the flagship projects that put our Mheshimiwa on top.
Didmas Barasa Governor 2027 Bungoma. Me, Edward Didmas Lokesa Barasa.
Once again, the Honorable Member of Kimilili constituency, Honorable Didmas Barasa, has just led in the just concluded research done by Politalk Africa, ranking him number 1 in Western and 4 nationally, with approval rating of 78.3%. Infrastructural development of schools in the constituency, like construction of modern one-story facility at Matili FYM Primary School, Mahonge FYM Primary School, Sehendo Primary School, elimination of grass-thatched houses program, establishment of the Kimilili ICT Center and Library, the only library in Bungoma County, and road rehabilitations are some of the flagship projects that put our Mheshimiwa on top.
Kugo, Titimas Baraza Governor 2027 Bungoma. Edward Didmas Wekesa Barasa.
Once again, the Honorable Member of Kimilili Constituency, Honorable Didmas Barasa, has just led in the just concluded research done by Polytalk Africa, ranking him number 1 in Western and 4 nationally, with approval rating of 78.3%. Infrastructural development of schools in the constituency, like construction of modern one-story facility at Matili FYM Primary School, Mahonge FYM Primary School, Sehendo Primary School, elimination of grass-thatched houses program, establishment of the Kimilili ICT Center and Library, the only library in Bungoma County, and road rehabilitations are some of the flagship projects that put our Mheshimiwa on top.
Kugo, Titimas Baraza Governor 2027 Bungoma. Edward Didmas Wekesa Barasa.
Once again, the Honorable Member of Kimilili Constituency, Honorable Didmas Barasa, has just led in the just concluded research done by Polytalk Africa, ranking him number 1 in Western and 4 nationally, with approval rating of 78.3%. Infrastructural development of schools in the constituency, like construction of modern one-story facility at Matili FYM Primary School, Mahonge FYM Primary School, Sehendo Primary School, elimination of grass-thatched houses program, establishment of the Kimilili ICT